What's up, everybody? Welcome to Who You Got. We are your home for NHRA and drag racing betting and gaming insights. This week, the NHRA heads to Pomona, California for the In-N-Out Burger Finals. Last race of the NHRA season and some tight championship races to be had. I'll be joined soon by the tag team experts for drag racing, Elon Werner, brains of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, and Rex Simmermaker, the mastermind of Winlight Bets. I'm your host, JT Hudson from Drag Illustrated, and we're about to sprint through the water box. We got the ultimate tips from Denzy's Deetz this week. We also have fan data from Drag Race Bracket Bonanza and the opening odds from Play NHRA. So strap in and join us for episode 11 of Who You Got. It's time to get the game, but remember, folks, gambling money has to go home. Let's get it. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good. Last Who You Got when skins are in the game.
Oh my God, it's the last one. Can you believe it? Last of the season, going into wintertime, going into trade shows, the Winter Series, Pro Race. So there isn't an off season. So we're sitting here saying, man, it's the end of the season, but it's the start of another one.
Yeah, you got PRI in December, and then right into Pro Mod Winter Series, then right into Pro Superstar Shootout, and then we back at effing Gainesville before we know it.
That's crazy.
You didn't want an off season anyway. What are you talking about? I mean, what are we doing an off season?
I know.
Just
we
getting in
kind of
trouble.
all do. Yeah, we kind of all want one, right? We just don't get it.
Right.
I mean,
It'll be nice
they'll
to take a couple days off.
Yeah, they'll fill the time no matter what. You know, these
Yes.
teams. They rebuild their program. If they have too much time, they'll spend a bunch of money rebuilding all their programs.
Right.
So this week, the NHRA heads to Pomona for the In-N-Out Burgers Finals. And
I still call it the World Finals. I still can't. That's just
the
how.
World Finals.
World Finals.
And there's still some championships up for grabs. Nothing's completely decided yet, correct? I think maybe Austin Proc's probably and maybe Gage.
Yeah, Austin for sure. Austin just has to take the tree in Q1.
Okay.
And that's it for him. He's clinched the championship at that point.
Got to make the field, though.
Gage, I think, might be able to clinch on Saturday night if everything goes his way and he gets a bunch of qualifying points.
Mm-hmm.
But it probably will still be he'll need to just like win first round on Sunday. And that'll probably do it for him. But
will the sun rise from the east, Elon? Is the sun going to rise in the east?
Exactly.
Okay.
Will it be very cold in the morning in Pomona and then warm up throughout the day? Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. But the Pro Stock Top Fuel, those are going to be the two classes that are going to make Sunday just bonkers and could make gamblers go crazy because there's,
this is fun, though. This is fun. This is fun to bet on.
Who do you pick in Top Fuel?
Who do you? We talked about it on the Wet Buck show. You have the new guard and the old guard, right?
Yeah.
And Aaron and Dallas are down there battling it out, and Greg's sitting right there where he can spin. And I think, and Erica,
is not out of it. I mean,
she's not. And her odds are 8,000. What was her odds to win the championship?
Okay.
Was like 8,000 something. It was crazy. But that might be a good bet right there. Just to throw 20 on or whatever.
Just throw 20 on that.
Whatever you want to throw on. But that would like $20 would make you 1,600 and something.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think that's cool that you can still, obviously get in on the championship bets now. But obviously you can bet on the Super Bowl champion right up until game time or whatever. But for whatever reason, it just seems for our sport to now have that as a capability that you can go in Saturday night and put some money down to see what could happen on Sunday.
Yep. I'm going to go back and dig up our picks for the championship. We did like, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 races ago, 7 races ago. I can't remember how long ago it was, but you have to dig those up.
Listen, if you bet enough and Erica wins at those odds, you could buy your own pro stock car.
Yeah.
That'd be the thing.
You would go right into the elite program and you could be the 25th elite car.
Yes, that's right. If Richard found out how much you won, I guarantee he'd be selling you
he'd
one.
make you a deal. He'd set you up.
Hey, if anybody can do it, it's Erica.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Really,
Yeah,
that's why I say like it's worth it to throw a little money on it just in case,
Yeah.
We're talking about the passing of the torch of the old guard to the new guard.
Right.
It'd also be pretty demoralizing if Greg or Erica did reach up and snatch that thing out of their hands, wouldn't it?
It would be. I think it would be more demoralizing for Dallas Glenn because this will be the second year in a row that he's come within a whisker of getting the championship. I think Aaron Stanfield might be like, hey, this is part of paying your dues. But
right
for Dallas, I think it'll be he wants it bad.
Right. And you heard their interviews this week. They're saying these young guys that they're poised for it. Seems like they were, they're saying, I mean, this is the big stage, and I think they're ready for the big stage. I don't think the stage is big enough for.
Right.
Yep. And then what other news do we have in the area this weekend?
What Gary Pritchett going Top Fuel Racing? I guess he's going to be in Travis Shoemake's Top Fuel Dragster.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's awesome. Well deserved for Gary.
Yeah, it's going to be cool for him. I mean, he's a guy this has been a dream of his, I think, for what, Rex, 5, 10 years probably?
Well, I mean, go back to, it's in his blood. I mean, you go back to money and, that type of thing. A guy who can build and has worked on every part of that car. I mean, I mean, like, it's hard not to root for that guy.
Exactly.
Fun guy to be around, too.
Yeah.
Been out a couple times with him.
Good.
It's gonna be cool to see him like in the staging lanes, like with all the other Top Fuel dragsters. And he's not a crew guy. He's not, somebody's +1 or whatever, but like he's got the fire suit on and ready to strap it in. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see him.
I do. I love it. I think it's great.
Very capable. Very capable.
Yeah. What'd you think about the double up from JFR last race?
I mean, come on.
That's storybook, isn't it?
Force on the property, and then you win everything.
It's amazing.
Austin breaks the #1 qualifier record. I mean, that's just the JFR way. If there's an opportunity to make it a storybook event, they're going to figure out a way to do it.
Seeing them both on top of the car and hugging and cheering, that was a moment. That was a moment in history in drag racing, for sure.
And it was weird that the rear end problem reared its ugly head again, making that race get run on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got to figure that out. I was at the track operators meeting in Vegas, and that was probably the hottest topic that came up 3 or 4 times but luckily the NHRA is being proactive. They're talking to the rear end guys. They're talking to guys that are making blankets. So they'll have it sorted out, but that made that Vegas race painful.
Yeah. For us at home at that race, though, and then back in the office on Monday, it's pretty nice watching those races on Monday.
Yeah, they had a good crowd on Monday.
If I'm a fan that's there, I'm probably not going to like it as much. But sitting in your office watching on Monday this week.
They actually piped it into the track operator. They piped the finals for Nitro into the track operators meeting, which was kind of cool on NHRA TV. So
really.
We're like, hey, by the way, we're just going to take a quick little break here. Then we got to watch the finals. So that was kind of cool.
That is cool. Let's see how we finished up here after last week.
Ugh.
Everybody was a winner. Not very much, but we all won.
$21 is almost enough for Waffle House.
That's 2 weeks in a row, though.
I know.
So you're just setting yourself up for this week.
Big.
Yep. That's how it works.
Like
and Rex,
look, Rex is up 20-something bucks. I'm up $20. Look at JT.
Just
lowering the
squeaking
boom.
along.
$200.
It's almost like he was born to do this show.
I know. It's like it's in his blood.
Oh man!
I feel like this should be, if Steve Righteous and the guys at Fox are watching this, which I hope they are, they need to incorporate you into the Fox broadcast as their Jimmy the Greek, or just bring JT in. You've got skins on the wall. Next year, you need to be the official Play NHRA poster child on the broadcast. Just real quick,
Make it into existence. Make it happen.
Right.
I'd be at a golf tournament or something like, hey guys, hold on a second. I got to run over here and do
It would be great. Just you on a golf cart smoking a big stogie, JT, just weighing in with your tips.
Oh man.
JT's going to have one of those hotlines, like calling 800 for the stone cold locks.
Right. Exactly.
Man, have you guys ever done that?
No, I've always thought about it, but my fear is once those guys get your number, it's just like an insurance. They will never, ever quit calling or texting you.
Man, it hadn't been that bad, since, but I tried it one season or, maybe for, I don't know, maybe it was like 6 weeks or something like that. And man, they were awful. I mean, of course they say you got to stick with this all season, but I'm like, man, I could make bad picks like this. I mean,
right.
Geez. I could walk outside and set my money on fire, but no, I'm sure there's some good ones. But just when I tried it, it was a rough that year. So, but it wasn't great. Let's do the fan picks.
Yeah,
from
Vegas. So
Vegas,
the fans don't lie. Herrera until I bet for Pomona, he's at 70%.
Yeah,
it just keeps creeping up. Your
Which
big three.
The question: what are the other 30% thinking?
Well, there are probably a bunch of people like me that are thinking, "Oh, you know what? This is the weekend. It's not going to happen."
Right?
I mean, I'm in the group with the Richard Gadsden backers because I'm just like, okay, I'm thinking Richard. This is going to be his weekend.
Family, friends, and crew members.
Right. Yes.
That's that's a few of the picks there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people that pick Clayton Howie are Mrs. Howie, his parents, and then everyone that hit the randomizer button. No offense.
Right.
And then in pro stock,
look, this is kind of how I think most places should look with relatively even distribution. And, Greg and Erica. But I think it's interesting that now Erica has kind of come back to earth. And Dallas and Aaron have eaten into Erica's percentages. And Greg's kind of held steady, I think, is where the fans are.
And Greg probably had a better qualifying too, correct?
Yeah. He was running nails.
And then Funny Car. Well,
and
imagine
then
that.
Austin Prock, he's just
that almost looks like a Pac-Man just eating everybody else.
That's exactly what's happening. He is just waka on everybody.
That's kind of what he's done this season. So yeah, it makes sense.
As Rex will say, is the sun going to rise in the east and set in the west? Most likely, yes. And they announced, I guess at SEMA, they announced an extension with Cornwell, so I think that's going to keep him in that seat for a while.
That's great.
Speaking of news.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
look at Paul Lee, how much he's crept up there.
Yeah. Paul's got a good car. He went to the finals. He may get some attention from me for winning this race.
Really?
Yeah. The last race of the year has a history of kind of throwing a bone to guys that have put the effort in Funny Car. Chad Green last year, Cruz the year before that.
Yep.
So
he, I'm glad that he went ahead and went to several of these races. Not set out. And look what it's done for his program.
Yeah, and he's got a new sponsor this race, so could be a big weekend for Paul Lee.
Top Fuel.
This is the one that's crazy for me.
Yeah.
Brittany still, obviously Brittany, even going into this race, she hadn't won all year, but still got all that love. But then your championship contenders, Justin, Antron, Doug, Sean, just kind of scrounging around for scraps. And I mean,
and that'd have to be the qualifying order, right? Mostly, but even
was garbage.
Even with that,
just kind of picked. But you
would think that
see that.
Yeah, you would think that she wouldn't have that big of a chunk of
but
it.
I think you're right, JT. It does come down a little bit to qualifying, but in Top Fuel, that number one qualifier has a tendency to get upset a lot. So I think Brittany's got the biggest fan base and people love her. But
that is crazy though that she had that 34.44% when Vegas had her at what 1266.
Yeah.
So
but it paid off. I mean, she got the job done. So
I'm digging it. I'm here for it. Okay. Going to Denzy's Deetz. Well, let's look. If you bet $100 on everybody, all the winners last week, Brittany, Austin Prock, Aaron Stanfield, and Gage Herrera, you would have walked away with 26, 25, 29. Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Austin's odds there. Austin, Aaron's, and Gage odds there. Kind of killed the numbers. If you're thinking about big payday.
Yeah.
And then Denzy's Deetz for Pro Stock Motorcycle.
I mean, Denzy's hit it right on the button. It's no secret. Gage Herrera, it's his world. We're just living in it. But I think Matt Smith, Angie Smith, this is the last chance for Richard Gadsden to make a play to try to steal some more Rookie of the Year votes. And then Denzy's, got Gianna, got her first win here in 2019. So it'll be interesting to see how that all comes together. So, but it's just going to be Gage. You're going to have to just watch what Gage does. The conditions are going to be killer. And I bet that bike's going to be just set up to just run like a gangbuster. Yeah.
And I think betting here, I'd probably wait until qualifying is over and find someone that is running good,
right,
and maybe not throw the house at them, but you could put a little bit of money on them and maybe hope for an upset, because you're certainly not going to take home a big chunk of money betting on Gage with the odds that he has. And then to Pro Stock,
Denzy's going to be a little bit of a contrarian, and basically say, we've been talking about Erica and Greg, but is this finally the event for the changing of the guard for Aaron Stanfield and Dallas Glenn to step up? I think so. I think it's going to come down. I think we could see obviously depending on how the ladder shakes out, I think you could see a Dallas Aaron final round for the Pro Stock Championship, which would be pretty spectacular.
I think it would be too.
And he's got his long shot at the end, quaders, which they kind of fall in for me like with Richard Gadsden. They got two cars to the semifinals in Vegas. Eventually the quadras are going to break through. Is it going to be this race this year?
Yep,
it's so fun to watch.
We'll see it here later. We'll see it later in the odds that the top four, and then to Jag is the jump is crazy in the odds from Vegas. Yep.
And a fun fact, I was talking to Fernando Sr. in Vegas, and because they're transitioning the business with David and Christian and Fernando Jr. taking over the company. And Fernando Sr. said that growing up, he had all three of the boys live in the same room, one bathroom, and one TV, basically to teach them to negotiate and compromise and get along.
That's awesome.
That's some next level parenting and looking forward to running your business.
Man, I need to do that with my kids.
Yeah, you should. Just one room.
Yeah. Funny car.
We touched on earlier, all Austin Prock has to do is take the tree in Q1 and he's the champ. But it'll be interesting to see if that's probably a good thing for him, because then he can just concentrate on winning the race and trying to continue his dominant season. It's a lot when you're trying to win the world championship, win the race, and all that stuff. But you've got Fast Jack right there. And then this, we touched on this a little bit. This could be Paul Lee's race. Last year, Chad Green won his first race ever at the World Finals. 2 years ago, Cruz Pedregon won his only race that year. The World Finals has a way of rewarding guys to give them a little bit of momentum going into the offseason. So Johnny Lindbergh and John Medlin have that car running so good. Beats Beckman in Vegas, barely loses, overpowers a little bit on Monday against Proc, but Paul Lee could be a serious contender this weekend.
I smell that you're probably going to pick an upset.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Most exciting class on the property, I think, from first time a tire turns. Guys like Clay Millican, if Clay can pick up, a handful of points, he can basically, it's worth a round, because he's, I think, 94 points behind Justin. So if he can put 5 on Justin, that's worth a whole round of racing. That gets him within 3 rounds. So it's Justin's championship to lose, but he's also, of those guys, the only guy that hasn't won a championship in that mix. Antron's won championship, Sean has won, Doug, Steve, and it's just a matter of, can he handle the pressure? And then
It's gonna be pretty tight though, right? Like
it's going to be very tight. It's going to be, depending on how the ladder shakes out, you could see guys getting peeled off. You could see guys, potentially 4 guys making the semifinals that all have a chance to win the championship.
There's very few times in a competitor's life where they get this opportunity to stage up for, have a chance to do it. So I hope those guys and girls are really excited about this weekend, because you just don't get this opportunity all often.
And they really, yes, they're a couple rounds behind, but you want to control your own destiny. And Justin, Antron, Sean, and even Doug, to some extent, control their own destiny, that if they can keep winning, they'll eventually run into the guys that are in front of them. And if they can beat them at the right time, they can be the champion.
Yep. And it's points and a half, correct?
Yeah. And it's 30 points a round. That's the other thing.
Yep.
So it's going to be wild.
Be fun to watch.
Can we all agree that this is better than how NASCAR finished up their season?
Yes. 100%, because there's been no one that's been disqualified and then reinserted or rule,
Right.
Yeah, that's bonk. I don't even understand everything that went down, other than it just sounded like it was really kind of bullshit.
Yeah. It's a mess. It's a mess. What it is.
Let's just dive into the odds here. All right, funny car. Austin Proc is the favorite at 283, and then Tasca at 696. Hagen, then Caps, Beckman. Man, these the top what 6 here are pretty close. Besides Austin, so
I'm gonna dive right in and just not leave you guys hanging. I'm gonna go 50 on Paul Lee and 50 on Matt Hagen.
Oh, okay. JT, I've got 50 on Ron Capps at 792 and 50 on Jack Beckman at 886.
50 on Caps, 50 on Jack. All right. Well, I hate to do it, but I'm just going to put 100 on Austin.
Protect your cash, JT.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, let's hope he does her again for me. Okay. Anybody else you like in here? Tasca seems like they like him quite a bit here at 696.
And I mean, really, J.R. Todd at nearly plus 1,000. I mean, that car's been running good. It's run good in Pomona, but I think I think it's going to be the big 4, big 5 are going to take it up. Or Paulie. I think Paulie.
Top Fuel. Antron Brown is the favorite at 632. Justin Ashley at 815. Then Torrance and Coletta, Force, Langdon, Milliken. Man.
I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and put 100 on Justin Ashley. I think it's the conditions are going to come to him. It's going to be cool, and Mike Green's going to get that car running really well.
What are you thinking here, Rex?
I got 50 on AB at 632. I got another 50 on Sean Langdon. I feel like capable anytime. And at 1035, it's hard to get away from that number. And then for the first time all season, I'm not going to put money on Tony Stewart. So that probably means.
Oh, buddy.
Right?
Man, I ought to put all of mine on Tony just to.
Right. You probably should. You probably should. I'm going to throw my phone or something, kick the dog or something if that happens. But
well, this will be the surefire way to ensure Tony Stewart wins.
100%. 100%.
I feel like I ought to put some.
What do you do?
Because of that. But no, I'm going to go 50 on Justin Ashley, and then I'm going to go 50 on Clay Milliken.
Ooh, that's a pretty good pick right there.
Just like those odds down there.
Yep.
So, man, I tell you what, though, 3/4 of this field, it wouldn't surprise you if they won.
No.
Right?
It's pretty wild. Pro Stock. And then we have Dallas Glenn is the favorite at 512, and then Aaron Stanfield at 535. So those guys are bunched right there together. Yep. Eric Ender's right there too at 598, and so is Greg at 622. And then a huge jump to 1308 with Jaggy, and then moves up. So, I mean, that's a huge jump in these numbers.
Yeah. Crazy.
From the top 4 to the field.
Rex, what are you thinking, buddy?
I like 50 on the top 4. I feel like, and I always hate it when I have to bet against Jaggy, but because I just think he's so good. But those top 4 give you $50 on each of them. It's a moneymaker. It's a moneymaker right there.
I am going to go 50 on Greg Anderson. And 50 on Christian Quadra for my long shot at 1673.
I like it. I am going to do, gosh, part of me wants to put something on Erica here. You know what I mean? I just think that she's the one that could do it. I do think that if you are betting, I would slap a little money down, just a little, to see if she could pull off the upset and take the championship home. But I'm going to go with Aaron. You know what? I'm going to go 100 on Aaron.
Ooh.
Heyo.
Yeah.
Yep. Why not, right? And then I'll save my money for the next one, I guess.
How about, there's a little bit of news there, too. Like, how about if he wins and then brings his dad, back to...
Right, exactly. It's going to get Aaron and Greg Stanfield head-to-head next year.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
That father and son duo is much better than Braun and Bronny, if you ask me. So we've got a better deal with that.
Yeah, for sure.
It does.
Okay, Pro Stock Moto. Gage Herrera at the negative numbers still at 129. And then Matt Smith at plus 296. Gadsden 738. And then Chase Van Zant at 1505. Man. What you going to do here, Elon? Rex is out of money.
You know what? I'm going to go 100 on Chase Van Zant.
Heyo.
I'm just going to.
I was just saying, thinking like you're something crazy.
Yeah.
Last chance.
This is
I'm Babe Ruth pointing my bat at the outfield wall with Chase Van Zant.
Those are tempting odds. Very, very tempting odds.
I'll join you. I'm going to do 50 with Chase and 50 on Andy.
Ooh, yeah.
And to be clear here to anybody that's watching, it's just there's not a lot of money to be made on Gage or Matt, really.
It's just not.
Right. So we're just taking a gamble here and seeing if somebody can pull one off, and if they do, it's going to pay out pretty nicely.
As you guys know, I'm out of money because I think this is an odd class to bet on. So,
Rex has just given up on Pro Stock Motorcycle. He's just acquiesced to give it to Gage.
Yeah,
it's kind of smart. I think both of us have pulled some money out of placing any bets on this as well. And mostly because of Gage, right? I mean, he's. I mean, when you're betting this, you're betting, and then it's not going to pay off for you well if you do pull it. If he does,
you got a better shot at these other classes.
Yeah.
As Mr. Wonderful says, we're here to make money.
That's right.
That is true.
So, Rex, you're Elon leave in the morning. Is that you said?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow morning. Big weekend for Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. We'll crown the overall champion. They'll get the impact helmet at the end of the race, and then we have countdown wrapping up for the champ belts, and then we'll still have the event prizes. So if you're going to play for the first time, you could win one of the event prizes. If you've been playing the countdown, it's double points this weekend, so it's going to really jumble up even Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. So there's still, I think, 12 to 20 people that are still in the running, whether it's the countdown or the overall championship. And then the top 20 people that finish overall for the season get gift certificates from Summit Racing Equipment. So lots of action on the line.
Love it.
Oh, sweet. I'm probably going to get my first win in Drag Race Bracket Bonanza this weekend.
I hope so.
Just wanted to let you know.
So you can join Mike Carpenter as a Drag Illustrated winner.
I know. If I'm ever at his house, I'll probably just steal that trophy of his. He won't even know it. I'll show it on here someday. Right. But I am headed to the 2.4 hours of La Mullet at the Freedom Factory, Cletus McFarland's event. And Victor and Wes are going to be repping the drag racers as well as Lyle Barnett. I think Stevie was Lyle's partner, and I think he had to back out for something personal reasons or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but
JT, I want to see your photo collages of the best mullets on the property too.
There's going to be some pretty sweet ones.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to have to go buy one.
Hurry back.
That's right. I'm thinking about going and buying one. I have Jimmy Dale ship me one.
Yeah.
But I'd like to thank our sponsors. I can get it up on here. Will come up. Anyway, Drag Illustrated, Racers Club, Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, and Winlight Bets. But anything else to hit on here before we exit?
I don't think so, but we're going to do a wrap-up show. So be sure we'll do kind of a wrap-up and maybe try to get one of the champs on to wrap the season up, don't you think?
I think so. And then, I don't know, when we get later on in the year here at the Winter Series and Rex gets Winlight Bets up and going.
Yes, for sure.
And start doing some more episodes on
can't wait for that.
Other ways that we can spend our money, right?
Right, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. make money.
All right. Well, thank you all. What's that?
You got to bet big to win big.
You do.
That's true. That's true. But thanks everybody for tuning in. And remember, gambling money has no home. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.